So this video is how to get clients using cold email or cold outreach. Now, this is something that's really low cost. So if you just start your agency, this is something you can do immediately. Obviously, if you haven't got any budget, you'd have to figure out how to build a list of potential emails. You'd have to figure out how to use some cold email software like Instantly, but it's fairly easy and there's a lot of documentation around this. I'm not going to go into detail on how to use the softwares or how to build lists because I think with a little bit of budget, you can get people on Fiverr or Upwork to build the lists. You can get someone to set up your Instantly and get your domains. But I'm just going to go through the process of how to do this and what I'd send in the emails or the outreach. So basically, for any kind of service you're selling, whether it's SEO, CRO, paid ads, maybe you do some UX and design, maybe you do AI automations, dev work, whatever it is, you're going to have like a target list of clients, and that might be, that might be for a certain niche. So you might be targeting, for example, SaaS clients or dentists or whatever. You might be targeting everyone. Makes it a little bit harder, but that's fine as well. But once you've got this like target, an ICP, this is what you need, an ICP. You don't want this to be too big, otherwise you're just going to be emailing everyone with a business. You don't want it to be too small because conversion rate for cold email is really low. Like, don't expect to get like more than 3% replies. So, if you do the maths on that, if you send 1,000 emails, you're going to get 30 responses. From the 30 responses, you might get, one client, two clients. Maybe that's okay for you. But really, I'd be looking at sending, between 1,000 and 10,000 emails. So you need to have a list of about that many. This may influence your ICP. You might want to say dentists in United States rather than dentists in United Kingdom. You might want to say, I know I'm going to target dentists and health companies in general, health businesses. This will change depending on what your numbers are. So let me just apply rate. So what you need to do, the first step is get a list of those potential clients and their emails. Now, you can do this manually, but it would take a really long time. You can get someone to scrape a list off Google, or you could do that yourself as well. There's tools out there that will do that. Then there's tools like hunter.io, which will get the email addresses. I prefer to get someone off Fiverr or Upwork to basically go and build these lists for me based on my specification. So I'll get someone like these guys. So I've typed in this building and I want to look for someone with a lot of reviews and who's at a good price point. Don't want it too cheap because basically they could just be using existing lists instead of building new ones, especially for you. But for example, like this one, £52, 1K plus reviews, 5.9 stars. I would look at this, and for some reason the gig's down, but let's just click another one. This one's a similar kind of thing. So doing email scraping, I'd go in and I'd tell it exactly what I needed. There's a 2-day delivery on this. I'd get it in no time. Fine. Get the list with all the emails. Remember, I want a big list between 1,000 and 5,000. I'm not sure if there's any limits on these. He just finds all of them. But this guy guarantees that every lead is valid, verified, vetted. Okay, so look, 5,000 leads is like 500 quid. I'm not sure what you get for basic, but maybe it's 1,000 or whatever. But go through and find a suitable gig for this. So this one, 50 is 8 quid, 100 is 12 quid, 500 is 60 quid. So, it's getting there at 500. Maybe you can contact this guy and say you want 1,000 at least. It might be 100 something quid. So you're looking at about 150 quid to get this list built at the size you want. Next, I'll use a website called Instantly. Now, what Instantly does, it makes it really easy to cold outreach. So I even figure this out, and I'm not a technical person. You just need to load it with the amount of emails you need. I wouldn't use your main domain email if you've got a website. I would look at, so say if your main domain is maindomain.com, I would look at creating some email addresses like maindomainemail.com, maindomainagency.com, maindomain.co.net.io. I would get variations of your main domain, forward all these to this main domain. This protects your main domain from being blacklisted or whatever, just in case. And you only want to be sending between, the numbers vary on this depending on who you speak to, but 30 emails per day per domain. Not per email, per domain. And this is just to protect the emails from being blacklisted. So you know that if you're sending 30 emails a day per domain, the amount of domains you've got determine how fast you can get this. And you want to get this as fast as possible. If you had 5 domains, that would mean 150 emails a day. And obviously, if you had 10 domains, that would mean 300 emails a day. And if you got a list of like 5,000, you can figure out how long it would take to get through all these emails. Now, there is something to be said about staggering this so that you can maybe tweak the offer as you get results or as you don't get results. Sending 5,000 in one day with the wrong email could be detrimental to your overall campaign. So I'd recommend aiming for 5 to 10. You should start seeing results from this, but also if you want to tweak the email as you go along, you can do things like A/B testing in Instantly. So it's it's good for that kind of stuff. And what to send to the prospects? Well, it depends on what you are selling, but I would work on a free audit, proposal, or insight. But I wouldn't do it unless they were interested. So what a lot of people do wrong is they go and do a little audit or a free web design for someone and send them an email and get no response, and they've wasted an hour of the time. And what they should do instead is send the email out and see what responses they get, and only do the little bit of free work to the responses. Now let me give some examples. For example, if it was CRO, I might say, hey, I've noticed that I've noticed some big opportunities on this sales page that can improve your conversion rate by 25%. Would you mind if I send you a quick loom and explain them? No strings attached. And it's the same with like SEO or paid ads. I like that no string attached line. I'm just going to add that in. If you can show them, design is quite hard, but CRO and SEO paid, if you can save or make money and you can propose that in the cold outreach, that's great. With SEO, for example, if you find people that are bidding on keywords, that are spending a lot on Google Ads, you can say something like, save $56,000 on ads with SEO. Hey, I love X. X could be, your latest post on charity. Whatever, you can use AI personalization in Instantly. It's not essential to do this, but, having some kind of personalization really makes them think, oh, they've been on the website, or, they've had a look at the website. I found a big opportunity that will help the company name, save 56K on ads by ranking organically. Want me to share a quick 1-minute loom to explain? No strings attached. So you can send that, and only to the responses you do the quick 1-minute loom. And I've done another video on how you can look at companies that are spending a lot on ads. But for example, let's go to this website, Factorial. I don't know who these are. I just found them on Google Ads. But we can go to Ahrefs and we can look at ads. Oh, it doesn't look like they're running ads, but for example, let's just do it on fatjoe.com. So we can see that it's paid keywords. So we can see that Fat Joe, for example, are bidding on SEO backlink agency. That's $13.99 a click. The volume's 500. Like, we can make some quick assumptions about how much they're spending on ads. You know, we can see that there's 203 keywords in paid search. So you can do this for pretty much any company. You can see how much they're spending on ads, and then you can make that kind of argument in the outreach, or in the Loom video, should I say. You don't want to go into too much depth in the outreach because you're not going to be looking at each individual site. You're going to be giving a brief email to say there's opportunities. So, you know, if you can get the list guide to only get companies that are bidding on Google Ads, they can do this kind of stuff with the technology they've got. It's a great way of doing this. Obviously, this number won't be accurate for everyone, but it's just a way to get them to open the email. And the last thing I want to talk about on this is LinkedIn DMs. So LinkedIn DMs is that there's software that does this like instantly, where you can outreach to people en masse. LinkedIn DMs, I kind of think work very well when you've got a personal brand going on. Because if you've got a personal brand and people are following you, you can outreach them and say, hey, you know, what are you up to, and want me to have a look at your website, want me to see what opportunities there is for SEO or CRO or whatever, and they're already trusted. But if not, if you're just doing cold outreach, something like this works exactly the same for LinkedIn too. It's just, they can look at your LinkedIn profile and make sure it's active, and it works a lot better. So that's what I'd recommend for cold email outreach. This is, again, like I said, a nice, easy way to get started with minimum budget, and it's very effective. You've just got to make the numbers work. Don't expect high amount of responses to this. You've got to email a lot of people to get responses. And yeah, I'll see you on the next video.